Yes, we are. We are geeks. We are nerds, but in order to succeed in anything, you need to be a nerd. But no, we aren't those ones from cartoons. We are passionate about computer science. We are passionate about technologies.
Welcome to Frank Stajano Explains. Today's topic is why you might really enjoy doing computer science in a great university like Cambridge. Some of you watching would be great at computer science and would actually enjoy it very much, but have been told by misguided people around you that it was not the thing for you because the only ones who get in are the ones from posh private schools or the ones who are boys or other stuff like that. None of this is true. All that matters is that you're smart and that you like it and that you're good at it. And that's basically the only criterion we use when deciding whom to admit to Trinity College at least. So everyone should have the same opportunity, including you. And in this series of videos, I'm asking many people from diverse backgrounds why they enjoy computer science so much. And I want you to hear it from them, why it could be so good for you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. And if you want more like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be told when they come out. And some of them are already on the channel, so please do browse. I'm very happy to introduce one of my students to you today, Mina. And Mina has been here for 3 years. I did her admissions interview a year or two before, and she has now completed her 3rd year. Mina, would you please introduce yourself, tell us something about what you like and what you're up to?
Hello, I'm Mina Šekularac. I'm part-time student at Cambridge University, and I'm studying computer science. In my free time, I love reading plays. I love Shakespeare. I love playing piano. I've even finished music school, and I've been playing piano for last more than 15 years. And my favorite field is natural language processing. And some times ago, I was afraid that I would never find some field that I'm passionate about. And I was quite worried about that because all my friends, they had some field that they're passionate about. And then I started reading about NLP, and I found something I'm passionate about. And now I'm telling all my friends, even though they're both comp-skis or non-comp-skis, about NLP. And I think that all my friends know how am I passionate about that field.
That's great. So how long ago did you discover NLP?
Actually, last year, like a bit more than a year ago. And I was, at the beginning, I liked it, but not that much. And then I started reading about it, and I realized that we can do multiple things by investigating NLP, and like you can learn different things. Like if you want to do NLP, you need to know some basic algorithms, even those from bioinformatics. You need to know things about language, and it's great because it's mixed up everything.
So you have done your 3rd year project in NLP.
Yes.
And the supervisor who followed you was very proud of you for this. What did you actually achieve in this project? What did you find?
My project was automated processing of automated alignment of parallel text, and I was aligning.
What does that mean in layman's term? Automatic parallel alignment. I mean,
that means
I know
that
because I
wrote,
followed you. But
yeah, I wrote a program which was aligning words that are similar into text. Like, for example, if we have some synonyms, like if we want to make some sentence simpler, we can do that by using some simpler word, like which is synonym, and it aligns those two words. Or we can, instead of using some long phrase, we can simply say just one word.
And this alignment of the two versions of the text, where would it be used?
It can be used anywhere. Like it can be used for learning a new language. Like if you know just beginner language, and you want to learn something harder, you can use that alignment, and you can see how you can use, instead of basic words, you can use some more fancy words, more complicated one from some higher language reading level.
So you follow the part you understand, and this points you at the corresponding part of the more complicated
Yeah,
one.
actually, I even made a website, which was not part of, it was part of the project, but it was an extension. So people can go to that website and see the alignment, and they can follow those arrows and see which word is aligned to which. So for example, if in one sentence we say Google, Amazon, and other companies, we can just, for non-educated readers, in some simpler sentence, it's just they, because not everyone knows about those companies. Like in this case, they know, but
yes, okay. So, so this is something where you've found something exciting to do, and you would like to continue doing that in the future.
yes.
Yes. So you told me that now, after having had this experience, you are quite passionate about continuing into research. Where do you see
Yes.
yourself in I don't know, 5 or 10 years? What would your career look like if you get into research?
Like if you asked me this a year ago or a year and a half ago, I would probably tell you that I want to go to industry and work as software engineer and like follow that path. And now, after working for a year on that project, I'm so passionate about that. And I hope, because I know that for my mother tongue language, Serbian, NLP isn't, there are no pipelines and those things. And I want to do research on my mother tongue language. And also, I would like to continue working on English.
Right. So if you get into,
and I hope that one day I will be able to make a pipeline for Serbian language and to use it and make researches.
if you get into natural language processing in Serbian, that's a narrow field where not much has been done, and so you can make the first few interesting discoveries. Yeah, that's a very good plan.
Like it's a great part of computer science that like we can always invent new things and find everything. Like if we want to do something, like if there is already that, we can improve it and make it much better, much easier. And like in this case, there are no that pipeline. Like you can invent it and use it, and after that, other people can improve it and use it for researches, and it's quite cool.
That's excellent. Very, very good plan. So you mentioned your mother tongue is Serbian. My mother tongue is Italian. So both of us are using English as a second or third language in my case. How old were you when you started learning English?
I was quite young. I was like 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
But yes, but I have elder sister, and I was following her path everywhere. And like I started learning maths. I started being interested in computer science because of her. I started learning English because she knew it. So I started doing everything because she was, for me, like she's still for me the smartest person in the world. I know that it's kind of weird when I say that in front of a Cambridge professor, but like for me, my sister is like God.
Absolutely, yes. What's she doing now?
She's now teaching assistant at university in Serbia.
Excellent.
University of Belgrade, School of Electrical Engineering, and she's doing, of course, software engineering.
So she's also in computer science.
Yes.
Right. Where did she get her degree from?
In Belgrade.
In Belgrade, right. So what made you want to go to Cambridge instead of Belgrade, like your big sister?
I wanted to, first, I wasn't that interested in engineering. And like the day when I realized that I want to try and do an interview at Cambridge was when I realized that I spent all my free time by reading some papers. Like if I now tell you what I thought that I would be able to do, you'd probably laugh. But then I love the RSA algorithm because of all maths behind it. And I was that passionate about it. And I was literally talking just about that sometime. And I wanted to prove that NP hard and P hard are equal. Yes, I was quite ambitious.
Wow. So yeah, as you know,
Yes.
I'm into security and algorithms, and so I lost you to natural language processing.
Yeah, like then I didn't know anything. Like now I know much more than I knew then, but like now I'm not that ambitious into proving that. Like now I'm more interested in other fields. But then I love those things, and I like the fact that at Cambridge first. Okay, then I didn't know, but here we are all equal, and I like the fact that we aren't doing that computing, coding, and other things. Like we are learning. And I know that we did in the first year graphics, and my sister, she did that for master studies. And that was actually the same time we were learning that. And I know that we learned that physics, like how light is falling, how we were doing that physics like behind the shadows. And she was just coding it. And I know that once she asked me for something, like to help her with the debugging, and I was like, I didn't understand your code, like what's happening. And then she started saying me that in a coding language. And I was like, wait, let's start with physics. Like we have sun, we have light, we have shadows. And then we start everything again. And like, of course, I knew how to code that because we had that also. But like, I like the fact that you're learning theory behind that. And we aren't just doing that coding. Of course, I love coding. Like you can't do computer science without coding, but still, like I like the fact that we are learning everything behind that. And I know when I talk to my friends, and all of us had the algorithms courses, and they just know how to code those algorithms. I like that I can prove them. I like the fact that we are here learning more maths and everything behind that coding, and I'm extremely passionate about that, learning how things works.
Yes, it's a feature of our Cambridge computer science tripos degree that we have quite a bit of breadth. We cover many topics so that you know a bit about everything in the field of computer science, and then you can specialize. We go quite deep into things as well, but we manage to not specialize too early, so you can have an understanding of basically everything before you decide to do your own specific things in the third year and onwards.
Yes, like for me, it was a problem because all my colleagues, they found their favorite topic in first year or in first 4 or 5 terms. And I was waiting for the sixth term, so I was quite panicking about that. But now, when I found it, I'm so happy. I'm glad that I waited for that feel.
So, at what stage you said you were copying your sister from when you were 3 or 4 years old? At what stage did you understand that computing was cool and that you wanted to go to university and do computing?
I was 18 then. Like during my life, besides copying my sister's life, I wanted to be an actress, and I even quit the grammar school at one stage. I applied for Academy of Fine Arts, and less than 5% of candidates passed the audition, and I was one of them. Like I was just 17, 18 then.
One of them who passed?
Yes.
Well done.
And during that summer, I was doing homeworks. I was reading, writing, learning about acting and those things. And in my free time, I was reading about NP hard problems. I was coding. I was practicing competitive programming, and I realized that I more like things that I do in my free time than those that I do for homework. And one day after academy, I realized that that's not something I like, because during the lunch breaks, and we had quite intense course. It's like 8, 9 hours you have to be at uni. And during lunch break, I was reading about computer science. And I was just like, okay, I want to apply to Cambridge. And I quit the academy, and here am I, and I never regret about that.
That's cool. Yes, excellent. So the primary reason we are having this chat is so that other young people, especially young girls, or anyone who doesn't fit the image of the the Cambridge computer scientist, which tends to be white and male and probably gone to a posh school and so on, can still think it's right for them, because it does work for many other people who don't fit this stereotype. There's no reason you should think yourself of that image uh, in order to apply. And yet, we don't have enough in the application pipeline. We're very, very happy to admit one when they turn up, like you. I'm very happy to admit you if you turn up, but I can only admit you if you apply. So, what would you have to say to other people who might now today be in the situation you were a few years ago when you decided to apply? I'm not sure, maybe gonna do something else.
First is the only way we can be accepted to Cambridge is to apply. So like if we don't apply, we don't have that chance. And also, I didn't have any international medal, and I was afraid that I'm not good enough for that. And even when I applied, all my professors, they were like, "That's for boys. Boys are much better. Like you don't need to waste your time by applying." And
your professors told you that it's for
yeah,
boys. Bad professor.
Actually. And I was afraid, like what will happen. And I think that even though like I spent almost all my life preparing for acting, like I've been playing piano, I was doing those things. All those things that you invest in your knowledge, in yourself, would help you in computer science. Like the fact that I'm playing piano helped me a lot. Like I haven't realized that I'm doing blind typing and that I actually type quite fast, even though I never done those courses. Like that's because I've been playing piano for years. Like actually everything that you do for yourself and everything you learn during your life would help you one day when you are a computer scientist, but literally everything.
So it's fascinating that you have done so many extracurricular activities to such a level of proficiency. And when you were in Trinity College and doing your computer science degree, did you have a chance to pursue your, for example, your piano and so on, or did you have to put everything on hold?
Of course, there were sleepless nights. I was working hard for Tripos, but like at the morning, even though like I was working till 2 a.m., I went to rowing, and I was rowing at like 6, 7 a.m. Like if you make a good schedule, you can do whatever you want. And each evening we were playing games, social games. We were having fun. We were laughing. We were singing. Like you can do everything you want if you make a good plan. Of course, they were like, again, sleepless night. There were days where I didn't have time for myself, but like there were just days and periods. Of course, like before submitting a dissertation, I was unable to do anything because I had to submit it. Before exams, you have to work harder, but if you make a good plan, like you can always have your morning, you can do whatever you want in evening, and there's always enough time for you to have like 2 or 3 hours for yourself. Like not always, of course, there are those periods, but like that's just a week or two.
So you joined at a time before the COVID-19 exploded, and so you have experienced Cambridge in both ways. The traditional Cambridge, where you live in Trinity College and you have all your friends and you go dining hall and all the stuff, and also the new situation, anomalous situation that we've had in the past year or two, where everything's online for the past. Certainly for the past year, I've only ever seen you over video. But before that, I would see you in person, right? You would come to my office for supervisions. We would have directional study and all this stuff. and you would meet your friends in person, and you would go to lectures physically, and so on and so on. So can you describe a bit what life in Cambridge is? Because people who just started uh, last October and are just first years have never experienced that.
It's quite different, and of course, it was much better when we could go out. Like the best part of being able to go to computer lab was the fact that you can have lunch with some professor, you can sit at the same table with them, like you can chit chat with professors, and actually they're normal people. Like I was quite surprised by that. You have that interaction with people, and even outside of classes, we don't just talk about courses. Like, okay, I know that I'm a student and I shouldn't say this, but less like we are talking about movies, we are talking about things like by walking to computer lab, you make new friends, you catch up with your friends. By going to supervision, you make close friends, like your supervision partners are at the end your close friends. You like we had so much fun by going to computer lab, by having breaks between lectures. Like it was like still we're having fun, but it's different because you have to go to Zoom meetings, see them, or like go out after classes. It was great because we could go to lunch, and we had formals with our professors. Like I was honored when I I went to formal with my doctors, and like at the end of the day we went out for a walk. We were playing, and we had so much fun. And even if we were working, like we went to someone's room or to some common room, and we were all working on our laptops, but we were together. So like you're working, coding, reading, doing some supervision, and like you're singing a bit, like talking, having fun, and it was so cool.
So if some of our viewers, listeners are thinking of not just of doing computer science at university, but specifically of coming to Cambridge or coming to Trinity, what is special about going to university in Cambridge and in Trinity compared to other things? Of course, you haven't experienced the other university, but you have some idea of what the different things might be. And what did you like particularly about being a Cambridge student?
I had experience because like Cambridge is my first university. Because I spent 1 year at the School of Electrical Engineering, so I can make that comparison. I love the fact about Trinity is that no one cares about your background, about our age. I'm a bit older than my colleagues, like for 1 year because I waited for a scholarship. But they don't look at us for our gender. People here are really friendly. Like again, when I was fresher, I had that chance that some professors was sitting next to me during lunch, and we were chit chatting, and that was the moment when I realized that professors at Cambridge, even though they're like Cambridge professors, like the smartest people in the world, he wanted to talk to me, like, and I was just a fresher. I was like stupid student, no one, and he wanted to have his lunch with me, and like I actually don't know his name, but like I felt so special and honored that he wanted to talk to me. And at Trinity, we're all equal. Supervisors are talking to us, and even if we have some problems, we can always talk to our DAS, even to our supervisors. Like if we have some problem with supervision, we can tell them. If we have some private problems, we can tell them, like, can we please postpone supervision or something like that. Like there are no those limits. Of course, there are limits. We are students and you're professors, but boundaries aren't strict. We can talk to people, and you can have that great experience of talking to the smartest people in the world. And it's quite awesome. Like you go to hall and someone who is like big name in the field of physics or just sit next to you, and like you're in hall having lunch, and he's like next to you, and sometimes you chit chat with him, and like you can talk to people that are studying different fields. It's awesome. Like when I was studying electrical engineering, all my friends were from that uni, and we were all electrical engineers. And Trinity, all my friends, they're studying different fields. Like when I went to hall and have lunch, I always have lunch with friends that are studying different fields, so you can learn about their field. So you can they can tell you something interesting that they've learned, and at the end you know a lot of different things, and you have well, you make close friends that are Cambridge students, and they're extremely smart, and they aren't computer scientists. Like, yes, they are. Some of them are computer scientists, but like, I have really smart friends that are studying maths, and I'm happy that I had a chance to meet them.
This is a very good observation, and one of the key things about the Cambridge system. You meet other people who are all extremely smart, but they are not all doing the same thing as you. And so the friends that you make now, which are going to be friends for life, the good ones, come from different fields. I mean, they are all going to be excellent in their own fields, but it's not always going to be yours. And you're going to be people who become.
Also, we have different backgrounds, so you learn about different cultures, which is for me incredible. How many cultures are there, and you learn about their traditions, and it's great that you learn about the whole world.
Excellent. Yes. Thank you. Now that you look back on these first 3 years of your computer science education, what's the most exciting thing you did in these 3 years?
That would be probably my part two project.
Sounded like you would
like,
be.
Yeah. I when I did that project, I had so much fun. I enjoyed reading and investigating prior coding and prior doing a project. I enjoy writing, and the best part of it was the fact when I finished it and I reread it, dissertation, and I was shocked by the fact what I managed to do, and that feeling that I had that moment when I finished with reading it and I read it like someone else, and I was quite proud of myself. And then I knew that it was worth like each sleepless night, all of hard work, and it was worth that.
Very good, very good. Well done. So, if I mean, you were lucky that you had a big sister who had basically done everything, was super smart, and so on and so on. You had a real big sister, was your sister. If someone else who's viewing this video said, well, you know, I don't have such a big sister, but if I had one, I would like to ask her some questions. So can you be the big sister for a teenager who's now thinking about what to do at university, and give her some good advice? I mean, what do you think her questions might be? And can you guess them and give your answer to them?
First question would be, are they all geeks, like from the movies? And yes, we are. We are geeks. We are nerds, but in order to succeed in anything, you need to be a nerd. But no, we aren't those ones from cartoons. We are passionate about computer science. We are passionate about technologies. We enjoy spending our free time by reading things. But besides that, we have our lives. We go out just as other people. We aren't ugly. Like, okay, here this sounds like stupid, but yeah, we aren't ugly, stupid nerds. We are just normal people. We are interested in technology more than others. Yes, when I knew things, like I'm probably more excited about the technology than my non-Kamsky friends, but we are just regular students. And I had that chance that I knew that from my sister's life. Like I saw her friends were cool. They weren't those nerds from movies. I'd probably ask that bigger sister, is it hard to be at Cambridge? And again, I would say, yeah, it's hard. We had a lot of sleepless nights. We had to study a lot. But the moment when you realized how much you know, and that moment which I had after reading my dissertation was, that it was worth, because after finishing Cambridge or any other university, it's not that Cambridge is the only one. Even if someone don't have that chance to go to Cambridge, by studying computer science, you have chance to help people all around the world. Computer scientists are helping doctors. They're quite important part of pharmaceutical industry, and that you can help everyone around the world, and that it was worth. It's hard, but you're happy at the end of the day. And probably the thing that I would ask, that I asked 4 years ago, was, what if I failed? And then I would ask that, Mina, from 4 years, do you have anything to lose? You're young, you don't have anything to lose. What if you succeed? If you don't try, you would never know what would happen. And in my opinion, the biggest reason why there are just a few girls is that we are all afraid of trying. And the first step in succeed is trying. And if you try and you give your maximum, it means that you're working your dream. If you don't get a place at Cambridge, world is full of universities, great universities. You can do computer science anywhere. And so just try. The first time when I went somewhere relaxed was that interview at Cambridge, because I knew that I don't have anything to lose. I had just one thing on my mind, and that was I'm here, I'll try, I'll give my maximum, and that's it. Then we'll know if I'm good enough for Cambridge or not. So just try, give your maximum, and the most important part is believe in yourself, because those are steps towards your dream.